This box has got some weight to it. I just finished up doing the videos showing the horizontal vertical 5C indexing UISA tool that I picked up. And I had mentioned that I'm kind of behind on showing you guys some of the deals I've picked up on tooling and whatnot. And since I'm in the mood of doing that right now, because it's also allowing me to get some of this stuff put away, I've got stuff in boxes that I just haven't been putting away because I've been waiting to show you guys some of the stuff. Well, on that vein, we're going to do this box next. Now this is a couple months back, I believe, a month and a half, 2 months ago. I showed you guys this Albrecht chuck, and I told the story of how I went through a lot of, you know, dealing to get this, a lot of driving, and I ended up not picking up much else with this chuck. I got a little tap wrench and a bunch of tiny taps and some stuff. Basically a bunch of stuff I could care less about. I mainly wanted this chuck. And, you know, didn't get, you know, I didn't get a huge deal on it, but it's a nice chuck. But that young man had explained to me that this was all part of a hoard of tooling from his grandfather's shop. So he had mentioned that there were just a whole bunch of toolboxes full of stuff and everything, and I said, well, I definitely would be interested in a lot of that. So I had stayed in touch with this young man through text message because I kept telling him if he gets more stuff to call me. I hadn't heard from him in a little while, so I texted him, and he said, well, he hadn't had a chance to get anything, and that he'd let me know. Well, then out of the blue, this is probably 4 weeks ago now, I've been sitting on this stuff for a while, he texted me and let me know that he's got a load of stuff he wants me to come up and take a look at. So I made the drive up and met him, and he literally had everything on the tailgate. He had everything set up like a yard sale on the tailgate of his pickup truck. So he had some boxes there with some stuff in the bed at the end of the bed of the truck, and the rest of it was on the tailgate. And he said, you know, let me know what I was interested in. So I picked through the thing for the whole pile of stuff for a while. I looked at some stuff that I just had absolutely no interest in. Wasn't machinist related, and it's just things that, you know, I didn't catch my eye or whatnot, and ended up pulling everything else out that I was interested in, and kind of that I wasn't interested in, putting that in a box. So, well, I'll tell you what. So why don't we talk about me buying all of this except for what's in the box, that I have absolutely no interest in it. So he said, well, yeah, okay. So we haggled back and forth, and I gave $80, I believe, is what I ended up giving in the end for all the stuff that was on the tailgate, which all fit in this large cardboard box. So without further ado, let's dive right in and see what I did. The first thing that caught my eye when I walked up to that truck and looked at what he had there and got my heart a-racing was this nice Starrett long throw indicator. This is a 655-4041. So I think this is a 4-inch, maybe. That this has 4 inches of range. But anyways, it's smooth as glass, works really nice. Got some scratches on the plastic here, which you can always get new plastics for these. And it's even got the remnants of a mount on it here. But I really wanted one of these because I had seen in several videos where guys had put magnetic bases on these and have them handy by their lathe tailstock or carriage, and just kind of stick that right on the bed. And if you want to see how far over you're moving your carriage, you can do something like that. Or on the tailstock, some guys fashion a ring that clamps onto the quill of the tailstock, and so if they want to know exactly, you know, what the depth is that they're drilling in. So there are several different uses for one like this, and these are not cheap. Unfortunately, no case or anything else to go with it, but it's not broken and it's in excellent shape. These are expensive. Even used, these are bringing decent money. So a good part of the 80 I gave, I figured, if I figure it this way, if I gave 30 or 40 for this alone, I think it was, you know, not a bad deal at all. And then, you know, this is just one item, you can imagine. Well, you don't have to imagine. Let's see what else is in here. So, more calipers.
I'm not going to get too excited about here, I don't think.
Let's see any maker on that one. These are Union Tool Company of Orange, Mass. Nice little small set of inside calipers. This is a little plastic box filled with pins, but the pins, to me, these look highly polished, like they're precision ground, and I'm wondering whether or not these are actually gauge pins, but I don't see any markings of size on them. That's a different kind of metal altogether. And then there's these small ones. That looks like it's actually broken off of something. There's some small ones here. You know. So I don't know. We'll just put that with all the other mystery items I seem to be acquiring. Here is another box. This one's in kind of rough shape, held together with rubber bands that are disintegrating. Let's see if it, there we go. And again, more pins. Just a bunch of pins. I don't know if any of those are taper. This is an interior, it's a little hole gauge. It's one of these little spring-loaded deals. And the way this works is it's like spring-loaded, so you get it down into your hole, and then you turn this knob on the top. You grab this and you turn this knob, and that locks it. Then you pull it out, and then you mic this, and that'll tell you your bore. So you'll see that'll snap out when I loosen it there. That's just one lonely one of those in a box, and that was originally probably a set. I may have found others. I don't remember what's actually in this box now. It's actually kind of fun for me to look through this because it's been so long since I looked at it all. Here's a box of countersinks, I guess you call them, and judging by the weight, they're carbide, and they're in excellent shape, and it's basically just a whole. Alright, these are little like spot drills, and there's quite a few of these carbide ones, different sizes. And then there's these are not, I don't know what these are made out of. KG 7/8, 41 degree. These are all made by the same company, but I can't make it out for the life of me. Severaz or something like that, I don't know. Oh, this one's different. Well, anyways, I've got some of these now. Now I've got a ton. Because here's another box. More of the same. And then some other assorted just pins, and then just some really like small countersinks. Another big one there. That looks brand new. Severance, S-E-V-E-R-A-N-C-E maybe? I think that might be Severance. Regent cigarettes, king size. I wonder how old that box is. And what is in here? Well, these are clearly small gears. But some of these little things here, these might be little tiny cutters or slitting saws, I don't know. For like very, very small milling operations. This is, this might be a very small pair of knurling wheels. This, well, this has got absolutely no markings on it that I can see. I don't know. Don't know really what's going on with that. We got here. Ah, here we go. Two more of these spring-loaded bore gauges, or hole gauges. So we got 3 of those. Another plastic precision, another little plastic container of precision ground dowels, highly polished. Figured if I left those, it wasn't going to change the price any. Little jeweler's screwdriver. That's a pin vise if I've ever seen one. Got to be a pin vise. Very small. We got a couple of them in here. All right, here's like almost like a tap holder or a chuck with nothing. I don't know if you put the tap in there and then you just turn this by hand. I guess if you're tapping holes that small. Here's a longer one. Oh, I see. That's what's missing from this one, maybe. These are marked Starrett. The LS Starrett. Oh, that's an old one, I think. It's got a letter C on it. I wonder if that gives you a size. You know, information on the size. Now this one doesn't have a place to have the markings that that one does. This one's unmarked. And this one is a Starrett. And it doesn't appear to have the letter on it like the other one does. That's got to be a really early one there. I'm hoping that's coming out on the camera. Now hopefully this showed up on the camera. I just readjusted it, tightened the frame. That's a little LS Starrett, like a pin vise. That's another one, LS Starrett. This one's unmarked. You know, and it's got really no way to hold it other than this little knurling. I don't know if this is for like really small, tiny taps to be started. That's a part for an indicator stand or something. Those are always handy. Nail clippers. Good for taking out the occasional metal sliver sometimes. What if that's a gauge block? Nothing else, it's a little tiny packing. There's another one. I don't know who makes that one. And there's just some... Wow! Wow! If that's an end mill, that's got to be the smallest one I've ever seen in my life. It's either an end mill or a tiny, tiny drill that's so small that they have to put it in, you know, they have to have a thicker shank on. How do you drill without breaking that sucker? Wow. That's probably not even going to show up, but next to my pinky you can see how tiny that is. That's like the width of a human hair. Just going to recap real quick the couple of things that may have not been fully viewed. A couple more of these hole gauges showed up, and then these weird little cutters, and of course I got these countersinks. A lot of those seem to be carbide, judging by the color and weight. Here's a little box of miscellaneous little points and screws. Don't know what that is all about. 2 flute 3/32 Assuming that was supposed to be an end mill. It's just a steel rod in there now. The light just flickered down here and thought I heard something, so I just checked with the boys. It's thundering out. A deburring tool. It's missing the cap that goes on the end here where you would house the extra bits. But this is one of these, I believe this is one of these telescopic ones. See? But unfortunately that's gone missing. Edge finder. It says stare it. It says $3 on it. I wonder if he was trying to sell it or if he bought it for $3. The flap's long gone. Oh yeah, it's thundering. Yep. That's a nice little find there. I think these bring 15 to 20 bucks on eBay. But I'll keep that one. I don't have one with a point on it. The other ones I have are the edge finders. That's more like a hole finder. Here, one of these little, now that's interesting. I've seen a lot of these little pocket scales that had the name of a company on them because they were, you know, given away as premiums. As does this one. This one says Bates Manufacturing Company, Orange, Mass. What's interesting about this one, it's different than all the other ones I have, is this one is in a Starrett USA holder. That's nice. Rusty Morse tapered bit. High-speed steel, couple dies. It's a big die. Stone. Master Specialty, made in the USA. Castar, K-A-S-T-A-R, Castor Specialty Manufacturing Company, New York, made in the USA. And this is feeler gauges. You betcha. Well, that's neat. Feeler gauges with a little scale. Rest of this is nothing to get excited about. This thing, I don't know about. Highly polished, ground to a point, got a hole here, got a thumb wheel on the back that allows you to adjust how far this sticks out. Alright, maybe a center. So like I was just talking about my new toy, the vertical horizontal indexer, the USA, and how there was a optional tailstock you could get. Well, maybe this is the quill from a tailstock, you know. And if nothing else, if I want to make myself a tailstock for that thing, I got a nice head start right here. Look, that's sharp. Small die handle. This is a number 2. This is a Bay State number 2 die handle. Well, now we got a pair. Make 2 stands for these, and I've got a little setup for indicating a spindle between centers or something like that, right? Sure, why not? What the hell do I know? Center drill. High-speed steel combined drill and countersink. Ah, more of these piloted end mills. That one's got the pilot still in it. Oh, there's a set screw right there you gotta loosen to get that out. Okay. This one's missing a little grub screw. couple of those. This looks real familiar to me. I just can't. Oh, there's a big one with a pilot in it right there. It's a nice one. This is obviously part of an indicator set, but I don't remember what the story is with this. It's got a small ball on the end of this rod, a larger ball on the end of this rod. It's got a thumb screw so you can adjust this over here, and it's got threads so this can thread into the next piece maybe. This is a wrench for a Rockwell 1931-X. Another one of these pilot. Oh, another telescopic bore gauge. Larger one there. That won't even fit in those boxes. Nice little piece of brass. Homemade tap wrench made out of solid brass with a tap in it. Several little ball ends for something. Small pilot. Micrometer wrenches. A couple of them. Reamers. Small reamers. Some larger ones. A couple of taps. And a chuck key. Oh, another one of these deals. Alright. You like that little box? 5/8. It's a Union twist drill. No, it's not. Oh no, it is. Union twist drill, 5/8 by 90 degree? That can't be right. What is that? 60? Can't quite read it. But that's actually what's in here. Yeah, it's 90 degree. Countersink. This little box has one tiny die. And this unidentified little doohickey here. I don't know what the heck that is. Looks like it's a holder for something. That actually has cutting jaws in it. This, I think, is some kind of a tap. More countersinks. This is marked $15. Nice box. Etalon, Eatland, Switzerland. Well, that's not what's in here. This is a Starrett. This is a box from a Swiss manufacturer that I'm not familiar with. Okay. And inside there's a holder, a bag with a brand new unused Starrett micrometer wrench, and inside the box is a Mitutoyo 0 to 1 inch micrometer. Oh yeah, I like this one. I remember seeing this and thinking, oh, that's cool. This has got the disc. Okay. Yeah, tell Mommy I'm coming up the stairs.